What if my children are always upset when they come back from my ex's house? Hi, I'm Bill Farias, founder of Farias Family Law, and we met with a woman last week, and this was the main issue. She's been divorced for 5 years. She has younger children, and they are not enjoying the parenting time with the father. So when they come back, there are behavior issues, and they are voicing that they are not happy being with the father during his parenting time. So the question is, what do you do in this situation when your children are coming back to you and saying, I don't want to be there, or you are picking up some indicators that the parenting time is not going well? The first thing you want to do is you want to attack this from a position of curiosity. We've had clients in the past who have questioned the children in a suggestive way, and that's not going to get you the information you want, right? So if you approach it from the standpoint of, I hate my ex and I want to gather evidence that's going to justify keeping my kids away from my ex, then that's what suggestive questioning is going to do. It's going to essentially elicit the answers from the children that you want to prove your position. And that is not in the best interest of the children, right? So what you want to do is you want to ask open-ended questions. You want to gather information from the child about what might possibly be happening there that is causing the child to be upset. Then, once you have this information, what you want to do is you want to reach out to the other parent. And I know some of you might be saying, well, that's crazy. If I reach out, he or she is going to flip out. That's not going to go well. But you have to do this, right? Like you have to take the steps to number one, alert the other parent to the issue. Also discuss the issue and try to resolve it. And number two, you also want some verification that you did this, because if this becomes a problem down the line, then one of the things the court is going to look at is what efforts you made to resolve this particular issue with the other parent. So the best way to do this is to reach out to the other parent in a way that can be verified. The easiest way to do this is through email, for example. You send an email that says, hey, just general, the child has been expressing some frustration with the parenting time, or there have been some issues. Can we please set up a time to discuss this? If you usually do it by text, that's fine too. Just make sure that you save the text message. Again, in case this becomes an issue down the line, you'll be able to prove that you took steps to try to resolve the issue. Then you have an open and honest discussion with the other parent. You want to try to avoid blame. Anytime you're going to start a discussion by blaming someone, then they're probably going to shut down and you're not going to get anywhere. So again, you want to approach this the same way that you approach the conversation with the child, in the sense that you want to do it out of curiosity. You want to ask open-ended questions. And I understand that this is very difficult and may seem impossible to a lot of people who have very strained relationships with their exes, but you at least need to make the effort. So send out an email or text, generally identifying the issue, asking to connect, and then have a conversation to try to figure out what is going on. The last step is making a judgment call about what to do with this. Now, the majority of the time, you will be expected to make an effort to try to work out the issue. So if there is an issue that requires maybe individual counseling, family counseling, that's something you may want to explore. It may be something very simple that you just have to have a conversation about. That's ideal. But the bottom line is, the majority of the time you're going to be wanting to work with the other parent to identify a solution, or at least some next steps that you can take to try to rectify the problem. Now, in some cases, that may not be possible. Certainly, if there is a question about the safety of the child, then you have to seriously consider getting the Department of Children and Family involved. And at the very least, what I highly recommend is reaching out to a family law attorney to run the scenario by the family law attorney. Because sometimes people jump the gun and they start filing reports that end up not being substantiated, and that ends up reflecting negatively on you. So before launching into calling the Department of Children and Families, unless it's something serious and clear, certainly if there's clear physical abuse or sexual abuse or some serious neglect, then you may just want to call DCF right away. But if you have the time and it isn't absolutely urgent, you may want to run these facts by an experienced family law attorney, because then you can get some guidance on how to approach this. So this final step is going to be a decision about whether you're going to make an effort to work through this, and if so, what steps you plug in, or if you don't think it's resolvable or there is a safety concern, figuring out which agencies you should get involved and which steps you should take. And by the way, this may also involve a filing with the probate and family court. And that's something that the attorney can help you assess whether that's appropriate. So if your child or your children are having difficulty with their parenting time, this is a good guide. You want to first of all ask open-ended questions to the child to gather some information, then verify that you reached out to the other parent, ask the other parent open-ended questions, have an honest discussion with the other parent if possible, and then the final step is making a decision about whether you can work through it, which the majority of the time you should be able to, because you want to the extent possible, foster a positive relationship between the child and the other parent, but sometimes that's not possible depending on what happened and the nature of the relationship, and then some more drastic measures may be necessary. You may want to consult with an attorney if possible, and you're going to consider police involvement, DCF involvement, depending on the seriousness of the event and the circumstances. If you have any other questions about this, you can call us at 508-675-0464. You can email us at info@fariasfamilylaw.com. And if you found this video helpful, you can subscribe to our channel and share it with anyone you think might benefit from it. And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Farias Family Law. Thank you. Have a good day.